Welcome back to the channel, friends, as we celebrate Christmas together. Today we are working on a watercolour. This is actually part of my December journal. So I do share my cover page with you guys quite often as a separate watercolour, and this month is no different. So if you prefer to have a really short edited version of this, if it's feeling a bit long for you, I will link the BuJo watercolor, the BuJo video for you below. There's lots and lots of watercolor in that as I do work in my own journal, one that I created. Again, I'll link that for you as well in case that's something that interests you, making your journal something that's really unique and adding your own pages so that you can create your art your way. But I'll link all that for you below, as well as all of the supplies that I use. So we're going to create a tree. I love painting trees. It's a very loose style that I have, and I always choose to create with. I've decided to do this little tree in a terracotta pot. This time around, you can of course turn it just into a Christmas tree with a skirt or with a wicker basket or anything that your heart desires. As you can see, I've started with just a really loose pencil sketch, so I will erase any lines at the end that is still showing. The ones that I'm painting over you won't see anyway. The pencil is really light. I've just got this well lit for you so that you can see easily what I'm working with and the sketch that I created with. You can of course add whichever words suit you or none at all to your basket. Again, make it yours, and do link and share anything with me if I do inspire you. Do add that below, or have a look in description and jump on and give me a follow and a friend on the socials, because it's always I always share lots of information there first and a lot more details than you see here. And I would love to get to know you as well. So starting out with these are my favorite watercolors. There are Royal Talens professional series. I did purchase them in an actual really sweet timber palette. It came with all brushes and everything really that you would need, but I prefer to use a brush that I picked up when I was on holiday, because when I'm painting with it, it always reminds me of that wonderful family trip abroad. It was a really inexpensive, I'm thinking it's a faux fur bristles, it's an acrylic, because it was really inexpensive at a market in Barcelona. But it has a really fine tip, which I love, and it is a size 10. So just in case you were thinking and you're looking at purchasing supplies yourself, it is a size 10, which is by all kind of most thinking, I guess, and what you see online, quite large. But I love how it holds the paint, and I love the tiny sweet little tip that it has, but it has quite a fat belly, so it holds lots of color if I wanted to. So again, work with the brushes that suit you, or try out different ones and see what you think. Again, they don't need to be expensive for them to be perfect for you, or even expensive, which means that then you can't afford to create and paint and do what you love. Big fan on this channel of using inexpensive products to make sure it's accessible to everybody. Art, it really should be. It should be accessible to people who have lots of money and little money. That's not what makes a great artist, or even what brings joy to your heart. So you don't have to be a great artist and sell your artwork in order for you to enjoy creating it. The pad of paper you see me working on is a Mont A5 watercolor pad. It's a 190 GSM, so it's actually got a nice thick textured paper, which I love, and it has a perforated top that you can see, which is perfect because I tear this out and add it to my journal. The paints, the colors you'll see, I have linked the original palette that I purchased online. I purchased it from Amazon, and you'll see me link lots and lots of things that I use from Amazon. That way, anywhere in the world, you can have it sent to you, which is great, so for wherever you are. But the colours that I've used, just in case you're wanting to pull out your own, are Sap Green, Permanent Green, Hooker Green and Viridian, and I've used Burnt Sienna, Burnt Umber and Sepia. So I will list all that below, so don't stress if you think I missed those names. They're all in the description. Same as the paper and all of that stuff as well. I will share with you before I sneak off, because I'm going to put some background music on and not talk for the next 23 minutes because that would be really boring. But before I sneak off, just letting you know, the palette that you can see there, I'll see if I can link something similar. That's not the palette that came with set, it's just pottery one that I love, that I picked up inexpensively from H&M, and I just love the sections. The textile you can see below is from our brand new textile collection. We are Australian, and it's the farmhouse stripe. I will link that for you as well. And that gorgeous candle you can see was gifted to me from Buckley Phillips, and it's part of their new Christmas range, lemon myrtle, lavender and eucalyptus, and it smells divine. if you've been here a minute, you know that my style is very loose. I'm not getting fancy with brush strokes and things like that. So I hope it feels that you can do this if you're a beginner and do it your way if you're advanced in your art. You can see me using a lot of wet into wet so that get that beautiful blend and bleed. But you will see me go back, and especially on the terracotta pot, you'll see me do a lot of wet into dry, or even almost dry onto dry on the brush. I just love that the color then stays exactly where I'm putting it. And I love it so it looks like it's dirty and that the pot's scuffed, and it just feels real to me. So you can see me adding lots and lots of layers of paint. I go back as it dries and then add some depth and oomph here and there. So don't feel that when you put your first layer of paint on, if you want to be a little bit shy and gentle with your colors, feel free to be, and then build up the color as you go. So you can see me now getting quite heavy-handed to add in some depth of color now that I'm happy with the shape of the tree, and really darkening it up, because the branches would be substantially darker in my imagination. It is important to note, I think, that I paint from my imagination. This is not a tree that I saw anywhere. It's not a photograph online. It's not a piece that I'm looking at in my home. It's purely from my mind, from the depths of my dreaming. And so I feel my way as I go, listening to some favorite music or a television show or series or something on in the background. Today it was a Christmas movie. And I just enjoy just kind of going to that happy place, and I really don't think a lot. I just feel my way. So I hope that you get to do the same. And now that I'm happy with my tree and my pot, and I'm happy with the overall feel of it, I'm going to come in and add a little bit of a surface that it's sitting on. Now this, I'm really happy with how this turned out. I really wasn't sure. I had an idea in my head of a check tablecloth or something like that, but I feel that it could be pavers or it could be on a table. It can be whatever you imagine it to be. So I didn't draw this out, I just felt my way and then just added in a little bit of colour for the checks, etc. The tree and the pot itself are dry, so if I've touched any wet on there, it's not going to bleed. Okay, so if you are a beginner, that's why I can go right up to the top there, and I'm not going to lose the dirt that I've spent so long getting it so it sits just right on the pot, more for me. And I can touch that with my brush now, and I'm not going to lose the colours. They're not going to bleed together. Keeping it quite light, of course. I don't have a lot of water on or colour on my brush. I'm just using that nice fine tip here as I put some lines in, some checks and things like that. I am going to go back and finish writing on my pot. I decided I wanted to use my pigment liner, just because I just like that it's a bit sharper. So I'm going to go back and add that last of all. And before I go, just want to remind you again that all those tools and things are linked for you below, including this Kneadable eraser, which is my absolute fave. And I'm taking off all those pencil lines now that are kind of still in the background that you probably can't see as well, but they were definitely still there. So I've linked all of those things for you below, and I can't thank you enough for being here. Again, your support really does mean the world. I am a new channel, but honestly, every single person that supports me, no matter how many numbers I have, will always mean so much to me, because it means I can do more of what I love. So thanks for being here. I hope you have a very Merry Christmas. Love to you and yours.